Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying Model Behaviour, the Earth's mightiest action figure video podcast. So take off your pants, crack a beer, and let's talk toys. Let's talk about a walk through Sonna Toys in Wiltshire. This is a new place that my buddy Brad showed me, and they have got such a great setup in there. So I'm not going to stand on ceremony for you guys. You came here to have a walkthrough of a great action figure store. That's exactly what we're going to do. So let's do it. But before we get started, I want to give a massive shout out to my friend Mark, who sent me a care package, I guess, of just some really awesome, cool stuff. Mark actually writes his own comic book, and boom! Ahab Van Helsing versus Nosferatu Carcharodon. It's Moby Dick, but with a vampire shark. Dude, this kind of creativity and entrepreneurship and artistry, that's what I love that so much. And the fact that you're sharing it with me, dude, thank you. This is so awesome. I cannot get over just how talented you must be to make things like this happen. So many people think about creating their own thing, doing their own thing, but then going out and just actually getting a tangible thing that you've made yourself. So cool. And thank you so much for sharing it with me. Not only that, but you know exactly what tickles my potatoes when it comes to entertainment, because you also gave me this custom Ned Flanders versus Nosferatu Carcharodon t-shirt, which is absolutely amazing. This fan art on here, incredible. So dude, thank you so much. Not only that, but you just randomly threw in a Punisher War Machine figure as well. Man, that's amazing. I absolutely adore it. Thank you so much for the gift. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you so much for displaying model behavior. So folks, here we are at Sonna Toys in Winchester, not Wiltshire, which is actually where I'm from. If more than one place starts with a W, I'm gonna get confused. But we made it! Sonna Toys is a relatively new establishment here, but you can tell that as well because it's got that lovely, clean, fresh, kind of Apple Store sort of feel to it, which I really like. It feels like action figures are a highfalutin kind of venture you can go on, and it's like, oh, the action figure store, oh well, la-dee-da. So we're going to kick things off taking a look at the WWE section and wrestling in general. We're going to move over to AEW as well. That's always really nice to see the pro wrestling figures in a store right next to the comic book ones as well, because it's all the same genre that we love. Got a great looking Drew McIntyre there, and I gotta say, the actual quality of the kilt, the sporran, it's fantastic. Even, it's Mattel. Oh no, guys, sorry, please don't cancel me. This is on the shelf. I'm allowed to show it. Jeez Louise. That was a whole ridiculous thing for a little while, wasn't it? I'm glad to say that it all turned out alright, but still, Mattel, you lost some cool points on that one. But cool points can be brought back by making badass looking action figures. And I gotta say, ones that incorporate things like cloth goods, like Kushida over here, that's a really nice touch. I think the cloth goods look a little bit bulky, a little bit ill-fitting, but still, I don't even mind that because it's an extra layer of quality. Oh, Karrion Kross, remember him? Or Killer Kross? He lasted for about a week on the main roster. Poor guy, I think that's really unfair. He never stood a chance. The Candice LeRae, I don't really know her as a competitor, but the figure is bright and colourful. But there's a lot of people who look like that sort of fit. But then there's Asuka, who really, when you've got Asuka on your roster, why do you need any other wrestlers at all? Even in the men's division, just give her all the titles and put her on TV 24/7. I'd be perfectly happy with that. But now we've got the AEW figures from Jazzwares. And one of my favorites, absolute favorites, Pentagon. Such a toyetic figure. I love Penta. Zero miedo. So cool. I wish you'd get more of a singles push. Hopefully we'll see that. Chris Jericho there, the inaugural AEW champion. Jack Swagger, who always feels surplus to requirements. I'm sorry, Jack. I even called him Jack Swagger, Jake Hager. It's because he's just kind of forgettable in his role. But he's kind of a badass MMA guy, so fair play to him. Now we got the NECA Back to the Future figures. I do like this Doc Brown, but probably because he's wearing the sunglasses that cover his eyes. Because I feel the NECA figures are so good that they're a bit too uncanny valley. It looks a little bit too weird. If you're doing a human, I'd rather more of a stylized kind of approach. I love that King Kong though. I was tempted. I've got to admit, I was tempted by the big monkey. But I just had to say no, he's too expensive, and I don't need a separate Universal Monsters section. The Thing is very cool though. McCready there. I think we are going to get an actual Thing figure as well. I'd love to see what NECA can really do with that, because I bet they can go crazy with it. These NECA animated turtles, the designs and the sculpts look so nice. I mean, I used to have a huge big collection, but at the same time, they do feel a little bit fragile in hand. And honestly, I just ran out of space. So selling off the entire Ninja Turtles collection, it wasn't too tough of a decision to make. With the boys though, we got, I forget her name, but we've got, oh geez, I just completely blanked on both of them. Wow, what a fake comic book fan I am. Homelander, that was it. And I still forget the other girl's name, but still, let's look at Frankenstein's monster instead. Again, this is NECA doing what NECA does best, and they do it so well. And also, that's reduced down to £24. That's a bargain. They do have a sale on in this store at this moment, and boy, they had some real good bargains. Muckman there. Again, I love the look of these figures because there's so much that goes into them with the accessories and the wonderful paint jobs and what have you. They just take up so much space. You got the big old chrome dome there. I mean, he's gigantic, really massive. And if money and space was not a factor, I would have all these Hero Turtles figures because I love them. Hey, look, it's me. How about that? Now, these are some custom pieces, I guess, because these aren't from any particular statue maker that I'm familiar with, and they all look kind of hand-painted. So I had a good old chat with the folks who work there, but I didn't ask them where those X-Men statues come from, but they're kind of cool. It's not something I would go for. I like my articulation and action figures, but still it's nice to see. Little Doctor Strange there with his portal, and some random Transformers Jurassic Park. You know what, I think the Autobots would fare pretty well against dinosaurs. Is that an acid storm there, maybe? I get a little bit confused with the Starscream fleet characters, but I think that was an acid storm. Then we've got all the Star Wars Black Series stuff, again, with the nice cloth goods. Got to love that on Han Solo. Little bit too early to get a Black Chrysanthemum figure, but hey, who's going to want to buy that anyway? Arguably, worst figure of the year, and we're only in February. That's going to take quite some topping. Bravo Hasbro, I'm impressed. Then again, that's not even due out this year, is it? I think it's coming out next year. Either way, who cares? We're only going to care when they give us a decent figure. Ugh, Rey, that's kind of a pointless excuse for an action figure. We had a 30-second dream sequence in an instantly forgettable film, and then she gets an action figure for it with the dumbest lightsaber. Now, this is a figure I actually bought. I walked out with this guy for my Cosmic collection. I thought he'd look great with the Cosmic Legions, a terrifying robot with some skin stretched over it in a terrible human disguise. I thought that was cool. Then we got the Spider-Man Retro Wave. All of these are so pretty. Sandman, I was mildly tempted by, but again, if you've got the Build-A-Figure, you don't need him. Surplus to requirements. White Vision and Wanda and Female Loki I picked up in this store though. After doing the walkthrough, plonked those down on the counter. And Ben Reilly Spider-Man. Such a good figure. I almost felt like I should buy it again, just because I love it so much. I was like, no, I can't be in a store and see him there and not purchase him. But it's like, no, Dave, you already own him. Quicksilver, I got in a mystery box. They do mystery boxes at this place. And last time I was there, I thought, you know what? $15, I'll try my luck. And I got Quicksilver. So, not really what I would have wanted, but at the same time, I'm sure I'll find someone to give him a good home. There's the Falcon still on the shelf there. And we've got Magic. Is it Magic? No, it's not Magic. What am I saying? Again, my brain, it's always in the moment. Danny Moonstar. That was totally what I was going to say. And got another White Vision from the MCU. Firestar and Thunderstrike, two figures that I like, but I'll probably be parting with from my collection. Again, trying to thin down, piece out, get a bit more refinement in my collection. The Villains Wave there. The Villains Wave I loved initially, and then I started to partition them out a little bit, so I'm still keeping a few of them. We got the McFarlane DC Multiverse, apparently the best-selling toy line in the world right now, but I might have to check the numbers on that. I won't check the numbers. Still, they got a whole bunch of Batmen and a Batgirl who is maybe a little bit bigger than she should be. That's always a common problem, or a common complaint that I hear with McFarlane DC, is that the scale of the figures is often off quite a bit, which would actually irritate me as well. It's like, if Batgirl is a similar size to Bane, then what's going on? So, something ain't right there. Still, the Red Hood always looks awesome. However it is that you're showing him, if it's like the Arkham Knight style version or classic Jason Todd, like that design is just cool. Now, one I was really surprised by, hopefully I'll go over to it. There we go, I'm picking him up, is the Swamp Thing figure. Look at the size of this dude. I had no idea. He was so big. This guy's massive. I'm really, really impressed. McFarlane DC, talking of scale, they absolutely threw the scale out the window and went, let's just go ham with Swamp Thing. And I love it, actually. I don't read Swamp Thing or DC, but I had to acknowledge that, yeah, that was an amazing looking figure. Very cool. And then we've got the Azrael Batman 2-pack, and neither of these costume designs are ones that I'm familiar with. The Azrael armor looks a bit like the Nightfall replacement Batman armor, but in a different color scheme, obviously. Now you got a few hot toys over here. Got Black Panther and a few of the other, Killmonger, and you got his dad there, Shuri, as well. Again, if you've got the money and the space, then hot toys is the way to go. But my goodness, it's going to take a lot of money and a lot of space. And, oh gosh, Funko Pops. We all know, all right? We all know how I feel about Funko Pops. Don't have time for them. Not my forte. Not my cup of tea. But still, if you like them, knock yourselves out. And they've got kind of a bargain bin here, but there's nothing in there that I thought was like, oh, amazing bargain. It was some, okay prices, like pretty decent competitive stuff. But there was nothing that I was really excited for, because sometimes you go rummaging through a bargain bin, and it's like, oh, amazing find. And there were some good prices, certainly, some nice deals. But I think most of the things that were really well priced, I already had on my shelves. So I was like, it's a good bargain, but I already own it. Dang it. Got some anime type stuff, My Hero Academia. I'm not familiar with the anime. I tried covering more anime on this channel, but it was another thing for me to focus my attention on. I just ran out of time. But G.I. Joe, all I ever hear is people telling me how good the G.I. Joe classified figures are. And honestly, I can see it. Like, they do. They look really great. Is it Zartan? The Master of Disguise? What a great looking action figure. Just the sculpt, paintwork, accessories, really lovely. But I just don't have any nostalgic connection to G.I. Joe. I had some Action Force toys when I was a kid. I enjoyed playing with them. I was tempted to get Scarlet Spider though, just because it's Scarlet Spider. I mean, why the heck not? That's all the motivation you need. We've got the McFarlane Robins and the Batman Who Laughs 4-pack. This was one that made a lot of people very happy and a lot of people very annoyed, because those Robins, particularly one of them, was very expensive. I think a lot of people spent a lot of money building their collections, and then McFarlane re-released them. They were like, son of a biscuit. But hey, them's are the breaks. You never know what's going to come out. I'm not sure what I'm looking at here. Some Batman. Oh, look at that. Yes, some little chibi type figures. And some Hot Toys style Doctor Who. I don't know if those are actually Hot Toys, or if they're a different company, because I don't know if Hot Toys do Doctor Who. I didn't think they did. We've got The Witcher over here. Again, nice enough figures, but nothing that I consider too head-turning, Because I never played The Witcher much. I played it a bit, but never really got into it. Too much going on. I got confused and restless. That's me. I need something that's instantly satisfying. Otherwise, I'm like, nope, no time for this. The 3 Jokers, though, they look really cool. Each and every one of them so unique in his own style. I love that you can have one character who can actually be done in such different ways, and each one kind of worthy of a rendition of their own. I think the one on the left there with the pink and the purple trousers, that's kind of the most classic Joker in my eye. But I thought it was such a clever story, giving away the idea that there are actually 3 Jokers, and each one was a different one that you saw in different stories. Really cool concept. I don't think it's 100% canon. It's just one of those things that they kind of pitched, but I dig it. Gigantic MCU Hulkbuster. And a gigantic Hulk as well from Thor Ragnarok. I mean, those two together, absolutely incredible. And folks, that marks the rather abrupt end to my tour of Sonatoys in Winchester. I forgot to film an outro, so I was doing the voiceover and then it just kind of stopped. But still, if you live in the southeast of England, definitely go and check them out. Really cool people who work there, had a good old chat about all things action figures, and they got some excellent prices as well. So yeah, I think I'm going to be making more purchases from there in the future. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep displaying model behavior.
Hello there, I'm Quicksilver. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to go one step beyond in supporting the channel, you can do by going to patreon.com/displayingmodelbehavior. And if you want to get yourself a Model Behavior t-shirt, then go over to teespring.com. Check the link in the description below. Alright, I'm off now. Bye.